Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. So in today's video, I'm going to look at building a multi-tenant system, and in this case, we're going to look at a case study of building a multi-church management system. And this multi-church management system, it is a problem that me personally that I've faced, and that's why I've taken it to go ahead and look into this problem. So the problem, I'm a Catholic. Those ones who don't know me, I'm Moke John Baptist. Some of you know me as JB, but JB is actually John Baptist. So I'm a typical Catholic, right? So as I'm preparing for my wedding, I was looking for my papers, specifically my baptism card, and I go to I make some calls to my parish, and they cannot find my dates of confirmation. So long story short, it took a lot of process, about 2 weeks, to actually get to discover where my paperwork are to process for me a new baptism card. And as a developer, that frustration actually goes to so many parishioners or so many Catholics out there. As you go, maybe you are getting, more especially when you are getting a new sacrament, sometimes they request you to bring some paperwork from maybe your previous parish or your previous church. So I approached the fact that I am also in the church management. I also approached our parish, and I talked with the secretary to see if I can build them a system that's going to be helping on those problems. And they were so much excited that if I can, build that solution for our church, and we'll be using it to monitor, all the paperwork. So the problem is very clear and has been existing for so long. Most churches, more especially the Catholic Church, I'm going to be concentrating on the Catholic Church right now. We have a lot of sacramental records. There is a lot of parishioner information. There is a lot of things that the paperwork that the church keeps about the parishioners. And when you want some paperwork, it takes a lot of time for secretaries, more especially if you find that it is after a very long period of time. It is very hard to retrieve that information. So what I want to do is to build a system that is going to help out. But since now, this is for every parish, I would want to create a system which is going to manage different parishes or different churches. So a church should come. We're going to have a super admin who's going to be registering these churches onto the system, and then want to give them their own domain. Actually, so what we want is we'll have a system whereby we have a super admin. So just going to have like a super admin, and that's going to be me in this case. So what I want is to do is I log in into the system. So I just want to be able to log in into the system, and then I can create, let me just put here. So I want to create, I'll be able to create different churches, just like church 1, church 2, church 3, like this. So I want to be able to have like church 1, then church 2, church 3, and so forth. So just want to be able to register these churches. Now each individual church, I want it to have a subdomain. So by default, when you create a church, it's going to be having a subdomain so that they can actually go ahead and create an account. They log into their system. So after creating them here, I will create them, and then I also create for them an admin. So this will have their own admin, their own logo, and their own site they can log in onto their system. So this is what I just want to create, custom domain. So what I just want to add on, just not only subdomain, we're just going to, of course, to give them first of all subdomain. But after the subdomain, I want us to, if for instance they have registered a domain, they should be able to actually add a domain. So I want to see how to add a domain So as a super admin, I can register, give them a subdomain. Then after, they just ask them for some money, and then I should just get a domain, and then I register this domain automatically via Vaser. And after registering this domain, then we can assign it to the church, so that the church can have, for instance, let's say, I'm not sure how we are going to assign an actual domain. Okay, how you're going to assign an actual domain, but what I just want is we should be able to add an actual domain onto this, and then so that we can have an actual church domain on it. And if possible, I wanted to achieve this in today's video. So for the tech stack, I know most of you are asking about the tech stack I'm going to use. I'm just going to use Next.js on the front. Okay, and I'm just going to use, of course, Honor on the back. Okay, just going to use Honor on the back end. So this is just like our tech stack. Of course, we're just going to use also, we're just going to use Cloudflare. So just use Cloudflare for hosting the backend. So here, just going to hosting the API. Then, of course, we are going to use Vaser for the front end. We use Prisma Postgres for the database. What else? Of course, the authentication, we are going to use Honor authentication. So this is just going to be our tech stack, and I have already set up all this as a starter kit. So this, I have a starter kit for this that I have, that is having this combination of the front end, back end, with even everything. So just going to use this starter kit, start from it, and then we see how we are going to configure. So in the first part, I just want to be able to, so just going to go ahead and see the steps we are going to take. One, just going to go ahead and clone the starter kit. Okay, I will just give you the starter kit for free. It took me really a lot of time to build this, but I'm just going to give it out for free. Then after this, we'll set up the DB. So set up the environmental variables, and then after setting up environment variables, we actually try to push and deploy. So push and deploy. And then after this, we'll implement. So we can implement, just going to implement now this, how do they call it? Just going to implement the subdomain allocation. And then after this, then we can push. It might be taking like 3 episodes or not, or other episodes I might not bring them here, I don't know, but I'm just going to make sure that at least we do this. I'm already tired today. I'm already tired. You can hear the energy is not as big because I actually already recorded some video on some on this series of the 30 videos. And unfortunately, I'm waiting for verification from Hezina, so that's why the video is still incomplete. I cannot publish it or finish it. I need first wait for this verification to go through. So meanwhile, as we're waiting for this, I'm just working on this project because it is also needed. So I'm just going to be, the energy is less, but we're just going to move at that pace. For some reason, some people like that pace, like, yeah, if he doesn't have energy, he's going to go through. But let's try to see how we get started. So I'm just going to leave a link to this starter kit. I've left it public, so I'm just going to go ahead and clone this. So let me just find a folder here. Just going to find a folder. I'm just going to go here. Okay, and I'm just going to open this in VS Code. Okay, just go ahead and clone this. So I'm just going to say git clone. I'm just going to call it RC, Roman Catholic Church. So I'm just going to say RC Church. Okay, RC Church, like this. I've already bought a domain for it, so that's why. So this is cd into RC RC Church. Okay, so if you just say LS, you notice that we have two apps. We have the README web and API. So the first thing, I'm just going to say code dot -r. Just going to open this. So you can see it is just a repository with two apps, the API and the web, and it has the git ignore. So that means like it might be already having, so just it's good that you reveal and see this here. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and remove this .git to remove the other old GitHub. Now I'm just going to go ahead and create a new repository right away. So I'm just going to go here, create this repository. I'm just going to name this one as RC. Just going to say here RC Church. Okay, I'm just going to say RC Church. Okay, just going to say rcchurch.com actually, and then I'm just going to make this private. I'll just say this is the church management system. Okay, I'll just go ahead and create the repository. Now you can just go back here and copy everything. Yeah, we already have this, the README file. Probably you can just say copy everything we have here, and I'm just also going to go ahead and delete this, and let me just open the terminal. Now make sure that this is not showing anything like main or anything here. Just going to paste everything like this. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and say clear, and now I'll just go ahead and git add. I'm just going to say add dot, and then I'm just going to say git commit. Okay, just going to say added front. Just say added okay, front and API for us, and git push, just like to push these two apps. Okay, so now I have this now on my repository, right? Nice. So the first thing I'm just going to say clear. So if you just go into more especially, let's say start with the web, I think it has fewer environmental variables. So you're going to see we must be having some okay. It doesn't seem that we have .env.example web. Okay, I'm just going to go inside the web. So cd web. So inside the web, I'm just going to go ahead and create a folder of .env. So you can just say, I think you can just say touch, and you say .env. Okay, just create this .env file here. Now let's go ahead and get the what to add into this. I need just to add in like a .env.example somewhere in that file. But for now, I'm just going to go ahead and get them. Just give me a second. Okay, so I've added the example. So if you find this file here, the example, I've added this .example vars. So just need to copy this here and add them here. Okay, add them here like so. So I'm just going to go ahead and pause, add in my upload thing token, add in the API key, and then we resume. Okay, so that's going to be our first thing to do. Okay, so I've added the environmental variables for the web. So now we can just go ahead and add also the environmental variables for this. Now for the API, you need to duplicate this. Okay, so you just need to right click and create two files. The one is going to be .dev, then .vars, just like this. Okay, the another one is .env, just like this. So for it for the API, it has two, because we're using this Cloudflare for hosting, so it doesn't store the API the secrets inside the env. It uses .dev.vars. So for that case, I have also to go here in this wrangler.tomo, just change this. Let me just change this one to RC Church API, just like that. Okay, then other things you can just leave them the way they are right now. Then let's go here and add in. So there is an example here of what we need. So just copy everything and give it in this .env. So just need to add in the database URL, resend API key, JWT, and all these others. So for the secrets, you can just run open. I think you can just run like open SSL run 32. How do they call it? 64-bit something. I can just like go ahead and get this. Like this thing, I just get in head, and the next day I've already forgotten it. I don't know. At this time, I don't just to remember. I just want to generate the random. Just want to find somewhere they have written it, and I can just use it. So you have rand 32. Oh, so you can just say rand 64-bit. Okay, so it is OpenSSL rand. So OpenSSL rand, and you can just say before this, you just say 64-bit, base 64 actually. So like base 64, and then you can just like put in the, I think, the characters that you want. So you can just say this, and let's get the first one, give it to this, and let's get the second one. So you can literally just generate as many tokens as you want, and then I can generate the third one. Okay, so I'm just going to add in. So for database, you just simply have to go to Prisma Postgres. By the way, you cannot use for some reason you cannot use Neon database. Neon will not work. So Prisma Postgres is one which is suitable for this. For some reason, it's not choose working. So I'm just going to go ahead. Okay, I think I have this side. Let me simply go this side. Okay. Since even this one I already have all of them. Just going to go to okay. That is like the same account. Can I just like log in with another? I just need to log in with another account. Just go to settings. Can I log out or something? I don't know why you can log out. I have two instances of the same account. Okay, it is just like choosing already. I don't know why it is doing that. Okay, let's say sign out. I'm just going to log in with Google. So I think I have another one, either with this. Okay, just going to say this one is RC church, and then region that is near Africa is going to be okay. Europe, Frankfurt. If this is just like in Germany. Then help us. Just these ones you can just like even skip. Okay, so you can just go ahead and connect this, and let's go ahead and get these. Just go ahead and generate the credentials. Copy this, and I'm just going to go ahead and add it to database. So I'm just going to also just go ahead and add the recent API key. Okay, so after adding all your environmental variables, copy these environmental variables and paste them inside this dev.vars. Exactly the ones which are in here, paste them and paste them in here. So the first thing we just want to do is, if you just go to Prisma, so we have on top here Prisma. You can just go ahead and delete this migration folder. And another thing, after deleting the migration folder, if I just go ahead and I go to seed.ts, I can just look at what is happening here. It is just simply creating this user. Now it is having, we haven't installed this, by the way. Let's first go ahead and install. So pnpm install, the same thing, just open the API cd cd API, and let's say pnpm install. So just first go ahead and install these packages. As they're installing, let's go through this, what is happening in here. So here you can see just simply creating a user admin password and a user password, as simple as that. And then we create the admin user. We're using the user schema here. So in the user schema, we have this here. Now, since we are just here in the schema, we can add in where is here? In the user roles, we're just going to have the admins. We'll also have the super admin, just like this, super admin. Okay, so just going to create the super admin, admin, and the normal user. Okay, so I'm just adding one more for the super admin. So this one is one is going to be monitoring all the churches, and then this one is going to be for one single church. Like the secretary at the church is going to be the one who is going to be an admin. And basically, we're not going to complicate it of putting so many roles, but just keep it just as minimal as this. Then in here, I'm just going to go ahead and now create this one is going to be. Now, for these other users, for now, I'm just going to create only the super admin, because these other users, they will actually be belonging to a particular. So I'm just going to create only a super admin. So I'm just going to come here, create super. This is going to be super admin. So the only difference is going to be that you can just go ahead and take off this actually. The only difference is going to be the role here. Instead of just like admin, it's going to be super admin, just like this. And I think that's it. Apart from that, that's it. For create sample logs, user. Okay, I'm just going to create anything else like logs. We don't need them right now. And even this user, let me remove this. Okay, yeah, just create as simple as possible. So the only thing we're just going to do right now is the role. Okay, is the role. So let's first go ahead and seed, not seed, but just actually push this. So I'm just going to say pnpm, not pnpm. You can say npx prisma. We can just say prisma migrate dev dash dash name init. So you can just like go ahead and do the migration. This is going to go ahead and push our schema. The only thing that you just like catering right now is the user. Now other things like the user roles and everything that we have here is going to change. Okay, it's going to automatically change, but for now let's just like see how this is going to work. Okay, it's not having a lot of things, just an invite. So for the admins, these admins, they will be joining. If you, for instance, a church secretary want to invite a reverend or a father to enter into the system, is going to be using this invitation logic. Okay, it's going to be using this invitation logic. Okay, so this has worked. So you can see it generated the Prisma client, and the seed file now has no problem. So I'm just going to run the seed to create that one user. So I'm just going to go ahead and create the seed. I'm just going to say npx prisma db seed. Now this, it is actually coming from the package.json. Okay, so there is a seed command here that we have. So I'm just going to go ahead and say npx prisma db seed. So this is going to go ahead and create one user, and I'm just going to go to the web. Just go to the web, and on the web I'm just going to go ahead and clear. I'm just going to say pnpm dev. So before we do that, I think so we have created the user and this is the password. Clear this. Let's just say pnpm dev. So we are starting here our Wrangler dev. This one is starting this API, and to make sure that we have all the environmental variables. And then on the web, we can just also go ahead and start this. So I'm just going to say clear and say pnpm dev. Okay, so this is going to go ahead and start our localhost 3000, and this should just route us to our kit. So basically just going to be right now going to the, I think, the login page. Okay, we'll configure all other things as we need, but just simply we need to follow just these steps. So we have already cloned, set up the environment variables. So the only thing you just need is to make some changes. I think here you just like add like make changes and push. So just like make changes. Okay, so you have this here. We have the logo and everything. So you have this auth login. So I'm just going to go ahead and try to log in. So if I just say admin at admin.com, I'm just going to go here and I say admin 1025. So this one should just go ahead and log in. Yep, so you can see login. Welcome back, system admin. So the authentication system is a bit working. Okay. Now for the dashboard, we must be checking the role. So I'm just going to check for a second here. So if you just go to the web, okay, if you just go to the web, I'm just going to go to here. So in the dashboard layout, we just select checking and seeing the role. So the role here, I'm just going to say if it is equal super admin for now. Okay, yes, for now I'm just going to do that. So you can see it has gone to the normal user dashboard, but I'm just going to go back to the other dashboard. Okay, so this is the dashboard. Okay, nothing much really. The only thing that is actually that is amazing is that we actually have some tables. Okay, we actually have some tables here. Now I don't think this one will have the super admin, because this is actually fetching the super admin only. I think it must be in the members. So we already have some nice things happening in here, which is very interesting. That in the starter kit that we have this. So this one I extracted it from one of the big systems that we built, and I put it here just for purposes of having a good start. Okay, so I think we just work on this right now. That's not a big deal. We just have to work on this. So after making the changes right now, I just want to simply go ahead and host this. So here I'm just going to deploy, and by the way, I also want to connect the actual domain. Connect the domains. Just like to deploy it. So I'm just going to go ahead, and I don't think I've made changes. Why is this one doing this? User okay. So on this get server user, we have this user here, and this user is having the roles to be member. I'm just going to say, just going to add in the super admin. So super admin, just like this. Okay, I'm just going to do that. So now you can see it is good. Okay, so what I just want to do right now, I just want to simply go ahead and deploy this before we make more further changes and going into, putting in some match logic. So I'm just going to first try my luck. I'm just going to stop this. Do I need to stop the server? I'm not sure. I'm just going to create another one. I'm just going to say cd web. I'm just going to move the web ones up. So I'm just going to go here and say git status. Okay, we just made some changes. I'm just going to say git add. Okay, I think we just need to go outside. Git cd into out just here. I'm just going to say git add, and I'm just going to say git commit okay, just like changed user role. I'm just going to say git push. So the good thing now is this, it pushes both the front end and the back end. Okay, so it just pushes that. I'm just going to go ahead now and try to deploy these two applications. We might just get errors, but for now, what I'm just like trying to do right now is simply instead I just have the deployed versions. I'm just going to go here and I'm just going to click on this, and I'm just going to add a new project. Okay, I will just click on this rccharge.com, and now I'm just going to simply so you can see it is saying other, because if you look at our repository here, let me just first go and look at our repository. So if you just look at our repository right now, the repository has this church rccharge.com. This repository is having two apps, the API and the web. So I want to deploy the web right now. So I'm just going to go here and select. So here where do you have the root directory? I'm just going to say that this is /web. Actually, you can just go here. I think you can edit this. So yeah, this is nice actually. So you can just see that the root directory here, you can just change it to web. And just say continue. So you can see now the root has changed to web, and add the environmental variables. I'm just going to go ahead and add the variables that we have on the web. Okay, just copy everything, cross here. I'm just going to go ahead and add these variables. Deploy. So as this is deploying, I just also want to go to Cloudflare. So I'm just going to say Cloudflare. I'm not sure how many they are going to give me. How many apps do they give you? It seems like I just already exceeded. I have a lot of apps right now on Cloudflare. So if you're just going to deploy on Cloudflare, just create an account. Now scroll down to where we have workers, this compute workers. So scroll under this, click on workers and pages. If you don't have any new worker, they just simply click on create. And you're just going to select here from import from a repository. And now we're just going to put this rccharge.com. Now the most important thing is the project name. I'm just going to leave it as rccharge API maybe. I'm just now the build command I think should be left like that. The only thing is the root directory we have to do. So just going to do /API just like this. Because if you just look at this, it has to API. So I'm just going to say /API. Remember to do that. Then the build variables, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to put them from here. Let's first just build without it. Okay, we're just going to add the variables later. So this is building, and also this side we are also building. Okay, so it has some errors in action the registration.ts. So you can just say registration.ts. Okay, 2 steps. Okay, so I'm just going to first remove this. So another thing I'm just going to do with that, there are some parts I think that update, like registration. Do I need this file? I'm not sure if I need this file. Update personal information. I'm just going to comment it. I'm just going to go ahead and run the build. So on this one, go back the web, stop it, and just say npm run build. I'm just going to run a build, but I'm just also going to be pushing here just in case. Okay, let's just say go and check on the side of the API. Okay, so it is built and it is live. Nice. It says success, your project is deployed to region R on Earth. So I'm just going to say continue to project. And the most important thing, just going to go to settings, go to variables, add. So I'm just going to go ahead and add the variables. So I'm just going to scroll down. Go to the API. So you can just say copy these variables that you have. I'll just come and paste them here and just wait. So this change it to production. And then scroll down. I think that's it. Just simply click deploy. Okay, so going back to this side, simply click on inspect deployment. Go back here. Let's see. Okay. Okay, this we just like have this. Just going to click on this and let's see. Okay, so the things of we have introduced in this role thing has some problems right now in member table listing. This is still building. I'm just going to go, okay, so you can see that's the very one. Just click on it, and I think we have 3 errors here. If you just hover, it talks about this, the role. So if you just look at where this is coming from, get filtered members, these members come all members thus. So where are these all members coming from? From here, use member. Just going to go to this one. If you look at it, is getting it, get members. Okay, so get members has this query member response, and we have this user which has this super admin. So what is exactly the problem? It's saying that the type user is inside the type with extended user. So where are we having the extended user? So the problem is on the extended user. So if you look at this data table, it will just pre-text in the types, whatever you pass in. So what are we passing in? So this one remembers is user, but this one I think it is expecting something else, like so we have actually three tables. Okay, fair enough. Let's just look for, I'm just going to go up here, look for this extended thing. Okay, so this extended user, we are using this one here somewhere. Okay, so I think just here. So you can click on this member profile, and so member profile has these. Okay, I think there is this user who is lacking the super admin. Okay, so just run again. Okay, so basically right now what we are doing is we are on deploying. After deploying, I want to connect the domain and then start seeing how we're going to implement the subdomain thing. That's the major big part of that, I think creating like organizations or creating the churches. Okay, because everything is going to be based on that, like users, the church has users, has all that kind of stuff. Anyways, let's just like wait and see these validity of types. Okay, so we still have some other problems. Can't find the module register step 2, and this is inside. Okay, so it is in this store register. Just going to comment out this, and I'm also going to go ahead and comment out resume registration. Okay, I'm just going to save this. Oh, so this one is taking in all this. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and remove this file for now. I'm not sure if that file is needed anyway. Yeah, just because I extracted it in some from some application, I think that's why it has those. Let me just also build again. So after removing that, I get another one here on these inputs. I'm just going to remove the tracking number also dialog. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and run again. Okay, so it finally went through this. So that means like I think we are good now. So I'm just going to go ahead and push. So let me just go here and push this. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and wait for the deployment to proceed. Okay, so after building, right now it has actually worked. Okay, so what we can do, we can actually add in like these environmental variables. I'm just going to go ahead and copy this and then go to, where do we go? Okay, just go to this and settings, and then just go to environmental variables. So we can just like go ahead and fix this. We just need to fix the API and the base. So I'm just going to say here the base is this for now. That's the base. Okay, so then we need also the API URL. So we can just get the API URL. Okay, so the API should be working. So if you just click on this and click on the visit, it should just show this a membership platform something. So this is what we need as the API. So I will just copy that and go to, where do I go? To settings and API URL. Let's go ahead and edit it, and we just paste it here and save. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and redeploy this. So just go ahead and click on redeploy. Deployments, last deployment. Let's go ahead and, we could dismiss this. Let's go ahead and redeploy like so. Okay, so now as it is redeploying, and now let's talk about actually what's going to happen right now, or the architecture. So basically what that means is that now we have two types of users. Okay, so we have the super admin. So we have the super admin. How am I supposed to present this? So we have the super admin, and we have also so we have, this is the main site. So when we create the sites here, so we have the super admin who logs in into the system. So in here, a super admin will log into rc.com, and now for him he can log in on the normal domain, and then these are the admins. They will have to log in on these subdomains. Okay, so the main domain that I just actually bought is, this one. So if you just go on the domains, manage domains, you see that actually I have this domain rc.com. So this one is going to be, the domain that is going to be actually this one, let me turn on also. So this RC is going to be where when you go, the admin will log in into this one, and you can create the subdomain. So that the subdomains, they will be like, for instance, abcparish.rc.com, like that. Anyways, it has again finished. So I want to simply just test that I can actually log in. Okay, just say admin. So just say here admin.com with admin, just like this. I want to see if I can just log in actually. Yeah, so we have actually just like saved this and we can log in. This is really nice. So that this part is done. Okay, that part is done. So now we need to connect the domain. That shouldn't be hard to connect the domain. So I'm just going to go to here and just go to settings and just go to domains. Now we can just first go ahead and add the domain itself. Like instead of just like adding here, you can just simply go ahead and add the domain. So you can just come here and add, just say rc.com, just like this. Okay, rc.com, reconnect to environment. Just going to say save. Okay, so you can see now that we have these. I don't know why these toasters are not closing. Okay, so you have invite configuration. So if you just go here on learn more, they give you the way to do it, the DNS records that you need to add. So they said DNS records at your provider must match the following records to verify and connect to Vasseur. So they say update your domain name servers to enable Vasseur. So you can't just go ahead and the DNS record, we could just use this, or we use, I think, this. They say update your domains name servers to enable Vasseur domain, the same thing like this. So if you just go back to this site where we have this domain, click on manage. Okay. Update DNS configuration. Okay, so we have these DNS records. Okay, we have these DNS records that matches in here. These, they say recommended steps to complete the zone, blah blah. Okay, so DNS setup. So you can see the Cloudflare name servers that are here. Okay, now I think the easiest way to add now is you can say no DNS records, add DNS record individually, or import a bind file. So I'm just going to go ahead and add. Actually, I haven't found like a way to add the to import the other, to add the Vasseur DNS, like to replace these ones. Okay, so the only way I just use just like add the records. So just go ahead and add the records that are on Vasseur here. So you start with these ones. So you see type a record, the art, and the value is this one. So this is just like mapping to this domain. So the A record, this art, and then so you can see the address, the IP address of this server is this one. Okay. I think you can just like leave this proxy on. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be on or off for now, but I'm just going to go ahead and add or save this record. Okay, so that's record number 1. Let's add another record. Okay, click on this. So this one is a CNAME WW, and this is the value. Okay, so I'm just going to go here, CNAME, add another record. I will just say CNAME. Oh no, here is where we choose the CNAME, and then this is W. I think W. Are they small letters or capital? Like these are small letters, I believe. And then this is the value. Let me just leave it on and save. I'm not sure if just like proxy this is supposed to. They said that proxy records, DNS responses are available by Cloudflare NACAT IPs. So the traffic is built by configuration, enable. I'm not sure if that. I mean, you can just like check for another one. I would just like have to change this proxy thing and remove it maybe, because you can see like here they haven't configured automatically. What does that mean? Okay, so the CNAME has proxy detected. Using proxy in front of Vasair prevents automated use and bot migration tools from working correctly. It also degrades performance to disable. Okay, so instead, let's go here and edit. Make sure we turn off the proxy. Save. Okay, and then the same thing here. Turn off, save. Okay, nice. Just go back this side. Okay, so these right now they are detecting. Okay, so we should just be about to get live. Oh, we are already live. I'm not sure if we are already live or not. Nice. Okay, so we are on rc.com. That wasn't hard. Okay, so let's start now the actual hard process, this of implementing the subdomain allocation. Okay, so the first thing I'm just going to say is that this video for by Lee is explaining the multi-tenant system. Okay, you can just go ahead and watch it, but basically if you see how this works, is that if you have a subdomain, you put in like hello world, and you can see has the .vasair.pub, which is just like the main domain, and he creates this, so you can see he routes to a new page which is hello world.vasair.pub. Okay, so that's basically what what we want to do also. Okay, we just want to be able to do this. So what I'm just going to do is, they left here some documentations. The first one takes into this multi-tenant platform. So this they called Vasair for platforms. So a multi-tenant application serves multiple customers, the tenants, from a single code base. So each tenant, like each church, gets its own domain or subdomain, but you only have one Next.js deployment running on Vasair. This approach simplifies your infrastructure, scales well, and keeps your branding consistent. Okay, so get your started with tenant example and this. So they give you here why use this, blah blah, and they say getting started. So they say the fastest way to get started is to use this template they gave here. Okay, so here we're just going to use the starter kit that Lee created. So there is multi-customer, say multi-tenant features on Vasair, star on your subdomain, automatic, blah blah. Okay, so this is what you're just going to use. Okay, I'm just going to click on this. So this is the demo that Lee was demonstrating. If you have this, actually, I just need to go. I will just take this very page is what I need when I'm just going to be creating. I'll just create this subdomain. We just have to use this. I like this. So if you just put like JB web developer, select this here, and then you create subdomain. So you will see that this actually routes to this. Okay, so yeah, welcome .vaser.pub. Okay, so this is just like they talk about the subdomain. So what I just want is to go ahead and clone this repo and see how we're just going to implement this. So we already have this. I'm just going to go cd. So we are in rc main. I don't want to add this in here, so I'm just going to say cd dot maybe just open another terminal. I'm just going to say cd dot dot. So this puts us in the multi-tenancy. If I just say ls, we have this rc. So this one I'm just going to say git. Is it supposed to be git clone, or it's already having git clone? So I'm just going to say platforms. I'm just going to go ahead and cd into platforms, cd. Okay, I just first do ls, clear ls. Oh, what did I do? I just like added everything direct in that. Oh no, let me just first see here. Platforms. Okay, I think just like it is in platforms. I don't know where I am right now. Or I'm actually already in the platform. So cd into, just say code dot. I'm just going to say code dot to open these platforms. Now for easy readability, I'm just going to also go ahead and install. I'm just going to say npm install. First of all is looking at the readme file. Maybe to see if we can find something. npm install. So you can see they have .env.local. Okay, so you create this, and they're adding REST API. This is Redis, and then kv REST API Redis token. It doesn't seem like to have anything. Then you just say here that this application is designed to be deployed on Vaser. Okay, to push your repos to GitHub, connect your repos to Vaser, connect blah blah, add root domain. So you see, for custom domains, make sure to add your root domain to Vaser, and step then set up a wildcard DNS record on your Vaser. So is that a wildcard DNS record? So you're supposed to go ahead and copy this. Okay, actually I have another documentation that I was looking at, this one. Okay, this one, subdomain based routing in XJS complete guide for multi-tenant applications. This guy, so he also just says go to your Vaser, go to domains. So you need to add this star.example.com. Okay, so let's go back to our, I'm just going to go to my Vaser right now. Where is my Vaser? Have like 1,000 things which are open here. But basically I'm just going to go to my Vaser dashboard. I'm I'm just going to go to why is it taking longer? I'm not sure why it is taking longer, but the page actually loaded, so something went wrong. Okay. You have 16 projects using, okay. Upgrade to, how do I upgrade like this thing here? Oh, all these ones are using, select, you can select, or even this is sub. Oh my god, I'm just going to do a terrible mistake, upgrade 16 projects. Like, I don't know what's that even supposed to mean. Anyways, I'm just going to go back here to this rc.com. Let's go to domain settings, go to domains. Okay. So just need to add another domain. I think just add this. So now in our case, let me first do this. rcchurch.com. Okay. Add this. This one's supposed to be rcchurch.com. So like this star, it allows us to create. So this one wildcard will allow us to add subdomains like kamurichurch.rcchurch.com. So just add this. So you can see this. Oh, okay. You need also to configure this. I don't know why it is not giving us the error records. Apparently we need to configure this. These other ones were giving us the serial codes. I don't know why here they have given us the name servers. Okay, so for this one is saying that you need to add these name servers. I just need to how to see how to add the name servers here. Are they trying to open the documentation from here? Cloudflare name servers. Every DNS server is assigned to a set of Cloudflare branded name servers. So how do we actually get to remove the name servers? Let's see settings. Analytics, records. These are like the ones for the DNS. There is no way to edit these. I'm just going to first say we could just like ask instead. So if I just have these name servers, I'm just going to go to how do I add these name servers to my Cloudflare. Okay, saying if you want to keep using Cloudflare as your DNS provider, if you want to keep managing your DNS, you typically add these pointing to a Vercel deployment instead of changing name servers. This is usually the better approach. Okay, so that's the good question. Option 2, if you want to switch to Vercel DNS entirely, you want to log in this, select your domain, go to DNS, look for custom name servers, change name servers, replace. However, this will mean you are no longer using Cloudflare services like CDN. Recommended approach for Vercel deployments, instead of changing name servers, it's better you. Okay, so that is okay, but then contain your Vercel deployments like this: proxy orange cloud, proxy for Cloudflare benefits. Oh, okay, so that's the purpose of proxying. I think I will add back so that I use that. I'm just going to ask here now how, because for Vercel they gave us this. If Vercel gave us this, then how do we get the CNAME? I'm just going to go here and maybe take a. It's supposed to give us also the, it was meant to give us Vercel is not giving me the CNAME records. Okay. I'm just going to say that this will disable all cards of the Obsidian. My domain is actually on Cloudflare. There is nowhere they have alternative. If you don't see the option, go to overview tab, advanced. Okay, overview tab. Where do we get the overview tab? Oh, here. And let's see. Oh, so if you're inside this rc.com, okay. Zone documentation, manage domain registration. Okay. So here we have the DNS, but I'm not seeing the. There's nowhere we have advanced actions on the right sidebar. Right sidebar? Don't think I'm seeing that. Okay, here we have the DNS records. So basically, there is no way you can change. Changing. There is no way you can change Cloudflare DNS name servers. I'm not sure they change your name for. Okay. So before you update your name servers, make sure you already own a domain. Okay. Okay, so you have added the site. If Cloudflare is unable to identify your domain, blah blah, review DNS. Now, once you have added a domain to Cloudflare, that domain will receive 2 assigned authoritative domains. If your domain is particularly sensitive to downtime, review suggestions, and then get names, log in to Cloudflare dashboard, select account and domain. On the overview, locate. I didn't see this. There is nowhere I saw this. There is nowhere we have this. Cloudflare automatically assigns name servers this. For more details, refer to name server assignments. There is no way we have that. Is that supposed to be like for people who have like paid or something? These are just like the applications. Something might be not right. I'm not sure why, for some reason. So this is the manage page configuration. Here we have the update DNS, deploy, move to another contact. Okay, I'm just going to right now first pause, and I'll just have to first work on that, and I see how to fix it. So after a big hassle, so I searched YouTube everywhere for how to change the name servers. So one thing you have to know, if you have your stuff with this, if you're having it with Cloudflare, it will not work. Okay, first of all, you cannot change these name servers that they gave you. These ones you cannot change unless you are on a pro plan. So if you're on a free plan, you cannot change these. Okay, so that is off, and therefore the only option and the easiest way I'm having this is by I bought another domain. So you can see this one is rc.com. So this is rc.org. Okay, the one that is on Vasseur is rc.org. I've removed that. So now I'm just going to go ahead and add this. I will add star. You can see it here. It is staryourdomain.com. This, I'm just going to say rc.org. So here, dot rc church dot org. Okay, so this is the one I'm just adding. Now this one is going to propagate simply because now I'm having it here on Vasseur. Okay, yeah, so make sure that if you're having it, it is more better if you buy the domain with Vasseur, because it may just give you hard time. If you're having it with Namecheap, it is okay, because Namecheap allows you to change, and even the hosting has. But for some reason, Cloudflare doesn't allow you to change the subdomains, the name servers. So be aware of that, and you may end up just like either not implementing it, or you have to go the hard way. Okay, so now that we are done with that hassle, it was a big hassle, but just make sure you get your domain either on any of these other platforms, but not Cloudflare. If you have it on, I just bought one with Vasseur. I already have some domains like 2 or 3 with Vasseur, so I just also added this one here for purposes of making this tutorial. So you can see how expensive the tutorial is becoming now, and you haven't subscribed. Can you imagine? Yeah, you just go ahead and hit that subscribe button and also like the video. So moving on, what we need now is to implement. Now that you have added this, we need to look at the code that is responsible for creating that subdomain. So if you just go into this code, this is the code for him. Now the most important part actually is inside the middleware. So this middleware is one which is responsible for creating the subdomains. So if you look at, he has this root domain which is coming from here. So he has a function that extracts the subdomain, and then he has a middleware. So one, he first gets the path name, and then from the path name he extracts the subdomain. Okay, and then block access to the admin page from the subdomains. So you can see password starts with admin, so we can protect the whole entire admin area. If we have, we're just going to protect the dashboard or something. And then for the root path on a subdomain, rewrite to the subdomain page. So you can see if the path name is equal to this, and this is where the rewrite actually makes sense. Okay, and then return this. Okay, so this is the code we want. Let's just look at the root domain. So you can see here in the utils, he has this root domain. Protocol, const protocol is env. If it is production, use HTTPS. And here, then root domain is next public root domain. So you need to have this root domain. Then we have also subdomain here. Okay, this is the one which creates the subdomain. Emoji get subdomain data. So this one is the one which is fetching the subdomain. We'll be fetching the subdomain here. Then get all subdomains. Okay, nice. And then we have Redis here. So they are using Redis. So I'm very sure somewhere they are just managing using Redis. So what we just need is also ability to create the subdomain. So let me just go back to this side, RC Church. So you can just go ahead and go to the schema. So I'm just going to go to the schema in the API side. And I'm just going to add in one more thing, which is going to be the church. Okay. So I'm just going to go here and create just church. So you can just go here and create church. Okay, so the church has the ID, and let me first go ahead and remove all these things. I can just go ahead and remove all this, change this one to churches. So let's say the church has a name, and then has also the subdomain. So it can have a name, it can have a subdomain, just like this, subdomain, and this is going to be unique. So you should just say this is going to be unique. What other things? So the church is going to be having a lot of things, but we can start with those two. It will have the logo, the email, and other things, but I'm just going to say that the church is going to have a name and a subdomain. Okay, and the subdomain is going to be unique, so that we can just go ahead and create that subdomain. Then it will of course have relationship like users. It will have users. They should be belonging to the church. So if you just come here, you can't just come and say that. You can just see the way we have this user and user ID. Copy this. So you can just come to user and let's add these two things. So it's going to be church. This is going to be church. Okay, and this is going to be church ID. Now this relationship is just going to make it is just not required because for instance, other users like the super admin is actually not having that, is not belonging to any church. So I'm just going to come here and I say that this has users of type user, just like this. We still have the relationship church uses color fields church ID. At least one of those fields is optional, hence the relationship field must be optional as well. So this, I think this one needs to be optional. So church is optional the way we have it here. Okay, so that means the user can have a church ID or not. Now we have these church have the users. Okay, I think that is enough. I'm just going to go ahead and push this. So make sure that we are on the API. And you can just like shut it down and I say npx prisma db push. Okay. So on the web, I'm just going to start this pnpm dev. And let's go ahead and start here pnpm dev also. I'm just going to go ahead and refresh. So apparently this dashboard is going to be for the church. So this one is going to be actually for the subdomain and so on and so on. So I'm just going to go ahead and create this a small one for, we'll have another one for the, so I'm just going to go back here. So in the web we'll have to have, so we have the dashboard. This normal dashboard is going to be for the subdomain guys. We have the user dashboard here. So I'm just going to have also the one for the super admin. So I'm just going to duplicate this, copy, and within the app I'm just going to paste this. I will just rename this to, I will just say super super admin. The name super admin is not valid. Choose a different name. So that's supposed to be a route group. Okay, we just simply need to create a route group. So I'm just going to rename and I say super admin. You can just go to the web and they just start again. So inside the super admin, this is going to be I can just say call this one also like super dashboard or something. I'm just going to say super admin. The problem here is when it is running, you cannot rename. Okay, so this is going to be basically the site. So instead of coming here, I'm just going to go ahead in these components. You can see we have the sidebar, but what I just want is actually this, the user sidebar, this one here. So this one I'm just going to call this one, to rename this one to super admin dashboard. Okay, super admin dashboard. The same thing here, I'm just going to rename everything to super admin. This is supposed to be super admin sidebar, I think. Sidebar. Just copy this name to this one, and in this layout, let's change this to this one. You can just remove now this. Okay, so I'm just going to, with that, I'll just go in this. You can customize here the the things. We have the page, which has the profile, and then we have only user. So I'm just going to just say here the churches or domains, whatever. So you can just come here and you create another one. It's going to be churches, and then in here you can just create a page .tsx rfc. So here you're just going to have like list of churches. Okay, just like that. And now inside these components is where I just want to add where you can create a church. So going back to the platform, first of all, I'm just going to start with this middleware. I'll just copy this middleware, go ahead and paste it inside. So we're just going to go ahead and add it in the web. Okay, it has to be at the root. Then we're just going to go in the utils. So let's go and create this. So just go ahead and copy this. You can just add it in the utils. So copy this. I just only need this root domain. So I'm just going to say also dot. You can just go ahead and find the utils in the lib utils, and then you can just add this. Okay, so if you add this root domain, so I'm just going to go ahead and create this, and you can see the root domain doesn't have, I think we have here the protocol. The root domain doesn't have, because this one has this one. The root domain doesn't seem to have the HTTP or HTTPS. So I'm just going to copy this, go inside here. I'll just go ahead and add this key, and so here you can just go ahead and add the root domain. So our domain here is this, okay, is this rc.org. So you can just go ahead and just add this. So you can add yours. Now then I think I suppose also if you check on this, let's go ahead and still look into the middleware. Okay, so local development is saying if URL includes, okay, so you have here this, then we have also the subdomains.ts. This one will create something which fetches those subdomains. For now I'm just going to get this file. Just add it here, subdomains. For our case, we are going to get this is vid icon. We do not just need this. Get subdomain data, this one is okay. So here we're just going to do a fetch, then get all subdomains. We also do a fetch. Okay, so you can see I'll just get some few data here. By the way, did we add created art? Don't feel like we added. We did not add the timestamps. Let me just add the timestamps. How comes this doesn't have the timestamps? Make sure that we have the timestamps. Okay, we have them here. So just need to add the timestamps here. Let me go ahead and update the API. Okay, db push and pnpm dev. Okay, going back here. We need to, so here we first get this. Now for the fetch, I'm just going to use this something for fetching. Let me just go and see. I think we already have a hook for fetching. Let me see in Axios. So if you just say here config, we have here Axios, which has this base URL. I'm just going to add one more function within here for fetching to simplify the fetching. Just a second. Okay, so I'm just adding this API request. Okay, I'm adding this API request, which takes in the endpoint, and it just fetches from what does it fetch from? You can see here this one fetches from the API. So I'm just also going to put this API. There is no v1. Yeah, just like this. We don't have a API key, just return the response. So if I just come back here to where we get the subdomain data, we get the subdomain. Okay, and we just need to say data is await API request. Okay, and we just need to say, we need to pass in, I think, so you can just come and say this is going to be dynamic slash like subdomains slash, then I believe this is going to be a subdomain, this sanitized subdomain, and we can return the data here. I'm just going to, are we just console.log? I'm not sure. We can just say console.log the sanitized, and then we could also console.log this here. Okay. I think we could just say churches, and then you're just getting charged by subdomain ID, subdomain. That is, looks like churches, and then like I'm just going to either use churches, then sanitize subdomain. We can also get a charge by that. Just leave it like that. Then here we are getting or. We can also still use this if you just need all the churches. There is this subdomain data, which is like emoji and created art. I'm not sure if we really need this. I'm not sure if we need that to return. Anyways, I will see where I'm just going to need this one. For now, let me comment it. And let me remove this Redis. Okay. We have the utils. Going back to the middleware, there's one thing we just need to get, I think, from here, which is this. They're just routing them to this. Okay, create subdomain. Okay, we're just also going to need that. For now, I'm just going to copy first this S, which is actually like for the subdomain, just for testing purposes. I will go back this side. Okay, first of all, let me just create another layout. I'm just going to say subdomain, and then inside here I'm just going to paste this S. Then we have the page. Lib subdomains, get subdomain data, then we have protocol and everything. Okay, then we have the form. I don't know where that is supposed to be. Let's also get these actions. I'm just going to copy this. I will paste this in I'll just go to actions, and I'm just going to say subdomain, subdomain.ts. Okay, then we're just going to have I'm just going to go back this side. Okay, so this is why we have the subdomain, I believe, on the home page. So you can see create your own subdomain with custom emoji. So I'm just going to copy this. So there is a place where we have super admin, and inside you have churches page. So I'm just going to replace it with this. We can just get this subdomain form. And I'm just going to add it in here. Subdomain form .tsx. Okay, there is this emoji picker. We are just not going to add the emoji for now. Then we have create domain action. Emoji picker, we are not using this. We have this input, then we have the card for the icon, which I'm also just going to go ahead and remove. Select emoji. So this is icon picker, so I'm just going to remove the icon picker. Call this subdomain action icon picker. Then we have the subdomain input. Okay, so we have this form. which basically is this. And you can just also duplicate this like subdomain. We have the subdomain input. I'm just going to say here title input. So I'm just going to say here title input. So here is going to be church title. And then here is going to be your church title. The name is going to be title, then title, we don't need this. Okay, so you're just going to get this and also add it here. So you can just add this like so. Then we have the state. Okay, instead of the icon create state, I'm just going to say here it's going to be title. We don't need anywhere the icon. I'm just going to say here title. I'm just going to say create church. And this one might just be on top here. So this has, I'm just going to remove this here in the serve action. Create subdomain. We have previous state from data is valid icon, sanitize domain, so this is where we actually go ahead and create. So here just going to get to any of serve actions here just to get how we do the create serve action, just for an example. Okay, so you will see that you need, let me go like to users, create user. Just want this kind of simplified version. Copy like this. So in the subdomain, I'll just need this. Control C. So here we first get the existing one. This one is going to be checked, I think. Just going to check at the back end, and then we will return an error. Okay. We just have the subdomain and the title. So just say title here, then title, then here is going to be title, subdomain and title. Then here we get the sanitized. So here this check is going to be done at the back end at once. Okay. So just going to go ahead and do this. I think that's why we need a try catch. Okay, the way we have it here. Okay, we need a try catch. Just going to wrap everything in a try catch. Then for this one, I'm just going to look for where we are capturing, for instance. Okay. I need to get just the instance of where we are creating, like let me see, like region. Okay, so I'm just going to go here. I'm just going to go get the user. So this one, I'm not sure. Return title error force. Okay. So you just need to return the success and the error. So here I'm just going to go ahead and do this. Get the API. So just going to say post at church for now. And now let's get the data. So you can just say create const data is equal to, so we just have the title, and then we also have the subdomain, just like this. They're just like the big, I think the big things we need in the API here: name and the subdomain. Oh, we called it name. Okay, so this is going to be name, just like this, and then we pass the data here, and it's going to be on churches. Okay, So this is redirecting protocol subdomain dot root domain. So the root domain is, if this is set, I think I can just also check if in production for now, let me just say if is equal to production. If this is true, then we use this, and then else let's just try using that. Okay, subdomain. So here we have the response, and then we redirect to that. Then delete, create user. Let's remove this. Okay, so we have one problem in the middleware, which is root domain. It's saying root domain is possibly undefined. So with this, can we just give a default? So you just say if press.env is equal production. If that is true, so I don't know if you can do this. Okay, so you think that it is okay. So here is saying that if it ends, so here we have to put our stuff, which is rc church rcchurch.org. So now block access to the admin page. Right now, what page is the one which starts with the super admin, I guess? We have the path which has the super admin, so we can just say here super. I'm just going to go here, the super this form, so I just need to go to this layout. Let's say if there is no user, let's add this link in the sidebar. Just going to say here building. I'll just say super. First of all, this is super admin. this one, super admin, for the profile. And then this is going to be churches. It's going to be super admin churches. So if I just go to the web, just need to log in. Let's check here. On the login. So we're just going to check for the dashboard here. I'm just going to say if it is super admin. So here we're just going to say is super admin. So I'm just going to say is super admin, and I'm just going to say if I'm just going to say is super. So if this is a super admin, just go to the super. Okay. Just going to say admin with admin. Okay. Okay, so you can see it has come to this side. I'm just going to click on churches. Okay, so you can see we have localhost 3000. So I think I should just like create, I think, in the second episode. I feel like right now I'm really exhausted. Just going to continue in episode 2. Okay, at least we have hosted the first version. So in the second episode, I'm just going to go ahead, which is going to be tomorrow or the other day. So yeah, in the second episode, let's work on creating the subdomain and starting our church project. Thank you so much for watching this episode. I will see you in the next one.